I learned about Acapulco through my church youth group. I went there 2 summers in a row on mission trips for a week, and then I decided to apply through MTW. It's Mission to the World, and they sponsored our youth group going down there. I applied through them, and I went for a week-long mission trips. We went and we just did construction, but when I went down there for the entire summer, it was 2 months, and I worked with the kids most of the time. I was a leader of the construction, and we would have groups come in and we would show them what needed to be done, like laying concrete down or demolishing old buildings. And then I got to know a family. It was 3 girls, and it was Monse, Pamela, and Marta. Pamela was in college, and Marta was 19. And then Monse I got really close to, and she was 15. They were at the orphanage because their father left them and took the older brother, and the mother ended up having cancer, so she was in the hospital and she couldn't take care of them. So they were at the orphanage, and this orphanage was church sponsored, so a lot of people from our church and other churches in the United States sponsored the kids and gave them clothes and paid for their education.
Rewarded the rebel when they raise us again, then they will kill us.
We fear that if we sleep at our home, we can be abducted by the rebels because our home is far away from town.
We come here to save our life. We are not going to school, so
you would rather die than stay on Earth.
Yes.
Even now.
Even now. Are we going to stay in our future?
We are. We're going to stop them. We're going to stop them.
My name is Rudy Filipponi. I work for the San Antonio Food Bank. I spent the past 2 weeks in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a part of Feeding America's disaster relief team because they got struck by some pretty bad tornadoes over there. We had an 18-wheeler and a bobtail that we loaded up with food, and we were approximately 2 blocks away from where some of the worst hit areas were, and we just set up in a parking lot where National Guard had once set up and was doing the distribution, and we kind of took over for them. And we were distributing food, diaper, hygiene products. Our first distribution that we did, they estimated it was, they had about 250 families that went through there, gave out over 65,000 pounds of food. That was in a 7-hour period. It was very, very humbling to know that what I was doing was helping people, you know, get by what little bit of, you know, normalcy. We had people that would drive up to us that weren't even picking anything up just to tell us thank you. You know, seeing these houses that were just torn apart, and then all of a sudden there's a sign in front of one that said 14 survivors by the grace of God. You know, it makes you look at and say, wow, how did somebody survive this? But they did. All I know is if I'm called upon to do another one of these disaster release, I'm there. I have no problem going out there and doing this again, because there's nothing like that feeling of satisfaction of knowing that you were helping someone out.
I'm going to talk to you about community service at our high school. We have a 30-hour per year community service requirement for our students. We're working with lots of different agencies that have different focuses in Macon. We work with an agency called Come to the Fountain. It's actually a ministry that's a picnic on Sunday nights that feeds the homeless and impoverished. Lots of students involved with that, and some parents as well, so that's kind of a neat ministry that families can get involved with. We work with Habitat for Humanity that build houses for people who have a steady job but have never been able to buy a home for the first time. We work with Rebuilding Macon that works on existing homes, mostly for the elderly and disabled. We do painting and doing boards and yard work and that kind of thing. We work with Macon Outreach at Mulberry, which feeds the homeless lunch, breakfast 1 day a week and lunch 4 days a week, and has a clothes closet and a grocery program. We work also with something called Campus Clubs that ministers in a community, probably the most impoverished community in Macon, and kindergarten through 6th grade students can go to that program and be tutored after school. They kind of rotate through a class. They can stay there until 6 o'clock, which is a safe and good environment for them to get some extra help, and also help their parents out until they get off work. That kind of gives you a broad spectrum of the different types of agencies that we work with.